What's good, boys and girls? We got a second video here for the AFC South, and that was the runner-up Tennessee Titans, who went 9-7 in the season. And one big highlight for me for their offseason was they did sign Tannehill to an extension contract for millions of dollars. I felt like it was too much for Tannehill. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Tannehill as a quarterback player, as a person as well. But I thought it was pretty lucrative that, they gave him that much amount of money to Tannehill. What you thought about that when they gave him that extension?
See, I feel like they gave him an extension because he fit the system and he was the right quarterback for it. I feel it was more on that franchise point, not really as in, oh man, let me pay him more money before any other team, competes and stuff like that. I don't think that was the case. I think it was like, you deserve this money because you took us to this. If you weren't here, we wouldn't be here at all. We wouldn't be a competition for the Texans or for anyone else or the Colts and stuff like that. So I believe they did a great job on signing him again. Yeah, money, I feel like he deserves it for sure.
Yeah, by the way, it was 4 years, $118 million contract.
He deserved it. I'm not going to diss him or anything like that. I believe he deserved it.
I mean, he definitely made the Titans better than what Marcus Mariota did. But it was really, I'd say, Derrick Henry that was carrying the team. Don't get me wrong, Tannehill did make the team better, but for this type of deal, I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought it was pretty massive in my eyes.
See, I'm not gonna lie, Derrick Henry, he was a beast, but let's take a look at their last season, how they did. They went 14th in offense, 19th in defense, 15th in passing, and 9th in rushing. I feel like they finally really utilized Derrick Henry at the end.
It's about time
of the season, and that's what I believe they really pushed that rushing game a lot more. But if you really look at their defense, they really struggle on that a lot. They went 19th in points allowed, 28th in yards allowed, 29th in passing yards allowed, and 25th in rushing yards allowed. So I feel like they really need a fix on that defensive spot, and I believe that's what they tried to do, but I really believe they should really look at that defense a little bit more. Their offense is fine, but however, they do lose a notable free agents. They lose a lot of players. They lost Marcus Mariota, Tajay Sharp, LaShawn Sims, D-tackle Austin Johnson, Darius Jennings, and Jack Conklin. Looking at that, it's mainly their notable starters. They try to find some starters in free agency, not free agency, draft, but I don't feel like they really put a lot of work on the defense as much. Don't get me wrong, they did pick up a cornerback on the second round, but the D tackle spot, I think they need a little bit more pressure on that. The edge rushers, I still need some more pressure on that as well.
Definitely.
So I'll give them overall a C+.
I give them a C. And the reason why I give them a C is because they didn't pick up an outside linebacker in the draft, which I thought was a position of need. Like they needed this position need. Instead, in the first round, they picked up
offensive tackle
Isaiah Wilson from Georgia. Great pickup. They need
don't get me wrong,
a little help in the offensive line. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I thought the offensive line was pretty good already, but they needed that help. So they got the man to protect Tannehill, for Derrick Henry to run a whole lot better.
Big body.
Exactly, but I felt like the linebacker position was a need. They didn't pick up any in this draft.
They need an edge rusher or something.
They did get what? Vic Beasley. So
yeah, he did.
That fills in the void for me and for the defensive end position. But it's just the linebacker. That's what really concerned me for the Tennessee Titans. They needed that leader, someone to bring in more light into that linebacker core. Because you did say defense needed more help.
Yeah, defense really need more help.
I think the offense is pretty well structured as of right now. But that defense, if they want to be the kings of the AFC South, they need to work on that defense a whole lot more because you are facing teams like Deshaun Watson. So, and they got receivers. We talked about it in our last video. Go check it out. So they really need to. I thought that linebacker position was in lack.
I also believe they got to focus on the cornerback position as well because last season they had Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler, and those two they were getting beat pretty bad. Don't get me wrong. I know Logan Ryan, but it was a pick at the end of the Patriots game in the playoffs, wild card. That's besides the point. But throughout the whole season, they were struggling. And I feel like they really need some help with that. Mainly the cornerback position, linebacker spots, the guy get help on it. That's why I feel like they should have focused a little bit more on that instead of on the offense, because the offense is fine after they got Tannehill, after they got the run game established, for sure.
Yeah, Tennessee Titans, they went, like I said, 9-7. They had, I guess you could say, a Cinderella story. They beat the Patriots in the first round. Sorry, Homer. They did beat the Baltimore Ravens, who was the first team in the AFC, and no one saw that coming for sure. Man, I lost money that day, by the way. And then, of course, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs that day, and that's where it all ended. But do I really believe that the Titans can make a similar sort of run like they had this past season?
It's gonna be tough. It really.
I feel like they will go down. I think their record. If I have to have an early prediction, I give them like a 10-6 season, possibly 10-6 season, but they'll still be like second place in their division because it would either be the Texans or even the Colts. Who knows? The Colts could, to me, they could surprise us this coming season. Who knows? But I don't think they'll be the top of the AFC South. Still pretty dominant, but won't be number one in their division.
I feel like if they fix their defense, they'll be straight. They'll be number one for sure. But right now, it's just, I don't feel like it's building up, but they're not really focusing enough attention on their defense as much. I mean, don't get me wrong, Vic Beasley is a good player to fill in. Same thing with Jack Crawford, another good player to fill in, but that linebacker spot, the cornerback spot, I really think they need more attention to it.
I feel like they need a tight end as well. Yeah, they didn't draft a tight end, and I mean they got a quarterback in the 7th round, Cole McDonald. I mean, because Tannehill, he was kind of injury prone back then. He had an ACL tear back when he was playing in Miami. So Cole McDonald, he had an all right season back in Hawaii, but I felt like it was much rather get a tight end or an outside linebacker to fill in the void. But they got a quarterback that wasn't really in need.
They released their outside linebacker from last year, Cameron Wake. So I think they need to replace him. I don't think they have one to really fill in that void. Again, they released Dion Lewis as well as Delaney Walker as tight end, so they had to find another tight end at least to fill in that void. I'm not talking about like undrafted free agents, at least a big body tight end, like how the Ravens were doing when they had big body tight ends. I think they need that just to help out with the run game as well.
For sure.
How their scheme is looking, they need like big players.
I truly believe that.
Yeah, this will wrap up with the Titans offseason analysts, and we'll move on to what?
The Colts.
The Colts, yeah. The Colts. Stay tuned.
Yep.